"I'm divorcing him. I can't live on his pathetic salary." Those were her words, my wife's, spoken so casually, like she was ordering coffee, and she didn't even say them to me. She said them to her mother. I heard it through the thin walls of our bedroom one night when she thought I was asleep. Her tone wasn't angry, it was disgusted, and that made it worse. For a few seconds I couldn't breathe. The woman I built my life around was dissecting my worth like a figure on a spreadsheet. Pathetic salary. I'd repeated the phrase in my mind until it stopped stinging and started shaping something else. Resolve. I didn't confront her. Not that night. Not ever. We'd been married 6 years. I wasn't rich, but I was steady. She liked that at first. Stability was her word. "You're the calm in my storm," she used to say. But calm doesn't sparkle. It doesn't buy weekend getaways or designer bags. And soon, my calm became her cage. I noticed the change in little things. The way she started dressing up for work dinners. How her phone lived face down on the table. The new perfume, strong, expensive, untraceable. Still, I played the fool. Because I wanted to see how far she'd go. The night I confirmed everything, she was in the shower. Her phone lit up beside the sink. The message preview read, "You're amazing. I wish you didn't have to pretend with him." No name, just a heart emoji. That was the night my love died quietly. No shouting, no tears, just a decision forming, slow and deliberate. I wasn't going to confront her. I was going to let her win, or at least that's what she'd think. When she finally mentioned divorce, she rehearsed it like a performance. "I think we've grown apart," she said, eyes down, voice trembling in a way that almost fooled me. I nodded. Then she started listing terms: apartment, alimony, car, savings, every piece of my life divided like a pie she was owed. I agreed to all of it. Calmly, too calmly. Her eyes lit up, greedy, relieved. She thought she'd beaten me. That was the moment I started building her trap. The next week, I met with a lawyer, an old friend from university. We restructured everything. My business, my accounts, my assets, moved under a holding company I'd registered months earlier for future ventures. Every document looked clean. Every transfer legitimate. On paper, I was worth very little. In reality, I'd never been richer. Then I made one final move. I signed over half my remaining assets to her name. Fake shares in a shell company. She thought she'd hit the jackpot. She filed for divorce the next day. We signed the papers in silence. She didn't even look at me. I wondered if she'd ever loved me at all. But by then, it didn't matter. A month later, her lawyer called her. I wasn't there, but I can imagine the sound of his voice. Shaking, confused, maybe even panicked. "Why didn't you tell me about this?" He had discovered the truth buried in the fine print. The assets she claimed? Worthless. The accounts she fought for? Frozen. The company she thought I built? A legal mirage with no monetary value, just cleverly placed signatures and meaningless ownership. Meanwhile, the real wealth sat quietly in a trust, under my name, untouchable. She showed up at my office 3 days later. No makeup, no smile, just the faint scent of desperation clinging to her like smoke. "You ruined me," she said. I looked at her for a long time, not angry, not smug, just finished. "You did that yourself," I said. "I just signed where you told me to." Her lips trembled, but no sound came. For the first time, she realized she hadn't been playing me, she'd been playing herself. People think revenge is fire, that it's wild and consuming. They're wrong. Real revenge is ice, slow, patient, deliberate. It waits for silence, not applause. I didn't ruin her. I simply removed myself from her equation. And when the lies collapsed, there was nothing left to hold up the life she'd built on them. She moved back with her mother, the same woman who'd once laughed about my pathetic salary. Funny thing, my new business deal went through last week. 7 figures, clean, and all I felt was peace. Sometimes I still think about that night, the way her voice sounded when she said it. Not because it hurts anymore, but because it reminds me of the turning point. The moment I stopped being the man who needed her approval and became the man she never saw coming. I don't hate her. Hatred still gives her power. No, I simply learned that betrayal doesn't deserve emotion. It deserves strategy. And mine was flawless. She once called my salary pathetic. Now she calls my silence terrifying. I suppose that's fair, because silence was the only thing I ever truly owned, and she never saw how expensive it could be.